Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I want to thank y'all for running with Real Live. We here with my man Andre Tank Johnson, the son of the whole ordeal with Alpo and Big Head Gary, for those that know the story. We're going to do a Q&A today, addressing some of the questions and comments that was posted under the video. And we want to just clear some things up, be real, be direct with you guys, and take you guys for a ride. And we're going to start off with a few questions. And the first question is, people have the impression that Alpo is your father. Clear that up for those that's following the story.
I like to say he ain't, he can't. It's not true. I was born in '87. You know what I'm saying? So I was here before all that went down, before he even hooked up with Michelle. And Michelle was not my mother.
Right, and Michelle was pretty much, for those that follow the story, Michelle was the woman that Alpo paid $1,000 for the picture for. Paid $1,000 for the picture just so he can interact with her at a particular party.
So my best friend girl, Michelle, was at a pool party, Passion Corner. She take a picture, back then it was a Polaroid pictures. You take a picture, you gotta come back and pick this shit up once it developed and all that wild shit. So the picture developed, Poe went to Mr. G, asked him, can he get the picture for $1,000? Ms. G was, I think Ms. G was like, no, I can't sell a picture. Poe was like, I don't want the picture. Tell her I got it. So he did that. Michelle come out for a picture. Mr. G sends her Poe, Alpo the rep.
Right.
So he trying to talk to her. My baby mother trying to tell Michelle to talk to him. So Big Head Gary was like, no, Michelle was like, Big Head Gary, you know my fiance, don't do that. Big Head Gary gonna say, fuck that nigga. So when he said fuck that nigga, Poe gave the picture back. He ain't get no play on that particular day. She came back and told us, my nigga Dre was like, oh, them niggas think you need money to fuck a bitch. I'ma show them niggas, you don't need no money to fuck no bitch. So I'm like, you gonna fuck Fuzzy? He was like, nah, I'ma fuck Gary bitch, Caprice. So I'm like, bet, fuck that bitch.
A lot of people feel that you was a little too young, you know, to elaborate on the story in depth, you know, and you can only speak about what you heard, you know, but a whole lot of things, detailed things came out, you know, that we didn't know prior to speaking to you, that the documentaries and all of that never even touched on. Mm-hmm. So, you know, what would you say to those critics who say you was too young, you can only speak on what you heard?
I would say to those, if something like that devastating happened to you, to a close family member, you'll want to know about it. You'll want to know more about it than anything, you know what I'm saying? So, what he say, she say, I'm hearing the truth. I ain't hearing from the Alpo story and all these other stories. I'm hearing from close family members what happened. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I can say to that.
Right. Okay, let's speak on when Alpo came over. You know, what was his role? What was his dealings? Or how did you guys interact? Or did he interact with you at all?
I mean, I remember seeing him around, being in close environments with him, but like, as far as like, what's up, and you know what I'm saying, all that, he probably said what's up to me, I ain't gonna lie, he probably did. Now I'm thinking about it. But that was it. And he was introduced to me as, like any mother would tell their child when another man is around, that's your uncle. So, you know what I'm saying, I had the impression of that. So, I ain't think nothing of it at the time.
Okay. Yeah, you know, that's the game, man. You know, they got to cover their ass in so many words. So, got another question. You know, did any questions go through your head? You know, like you said, you know, as you being young and, you know, before he was introduced as your uncle and you saw this man act with your mother, you know, who you thought was your mother, which was Michelle, which wasn't your mother. We cleared that up. Did any, you know, bells go off, or, you know,
Not really, cause I mean, all her family members was around, so introducing him as another family member.
So he came around like doing parties and.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So how old were you when you first saw Alpo when you was living with Michelle? To give
Like,
people the insight of,
probably was like 4 or 5.
okay, like 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. My light just went out. But we still roll. At the time, why weren't you living with your biological mother?
Because I was staying with my father full time, and you know what I'm saying? When that happened to him, I still was staying with him in his supposedly girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? So I stayed with that side, you know what I'm saying? I knew my mother was around. I just thought I had 2 mothers.
Okay, well, we ain't gonna make Michelle out to be the bad wolf in the whole situation.
Yeah.
Because as we know, she was in between two situations that, you know, I remember you telling me in the first interview that your mother got pregnant with your brother during the time he was dealing with Michelle.
Exactly.
During the time your father was dealing with Michelle, right?
Yeah.
So could that have been her motivation to deal with Alpo as a result of that? Could that have motivated her to start dealing with him since she found out that, oh, he's still dealing with your mother?
I think so. Cause she declined, you know what I'm saying, the offer the first time. Something had to pop off that summer. They'd be like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me go ahead and start dealing with. It's a dirty game out here, ladies and gentlemen.
Like I said before, some probably get back like, you did this, I'm gonna do that. And you try and plant a small fire, it come to a fucking big ass bomb, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure that probably wasn't her intentions, but it is what it is.
Right, that's the result of it. Do you feel, straight up, that it was a setup from the onset versus the way Alpo made it look like during the interview?
Me personally, yes. I feel like it's a setup. You know what I'm saying? If somebody beefing with somebody, you ain't gonna tag them along to a business deal. That don't even make sense. And you knowing they beefing, you gonna bring somebody. You know, it don't make sense.
That you know a long head buster.
Yeah, so it had to be another motive. You know what I'm saying? It had to be another motive.
A lot of people feel that it was a setup too. You know, it was some guys that made some hell of a comments, man, and I appreciate the thinkers. You know, because that's what this thing about. We thinking this shit through. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this is the result of what the streets can do. This is a result. A man who grows up without a father. A brother who was lost to the streets. You know, so a whole lot of side effects come along with this.
Like
shit.
my whole thing was to tell my truth. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole point of making the video, to tell my truth.
Right, so it wasn't really about going in depth about Alpo and none of that shit that,
You know what I'm saying?
they got an impression.
It's all about the after effect. You know, that's my big thing.
Yeah,
that might happen back then, but still affected the present and the future.
right,
You know what I'm saying? My kids ain't gonna know their grandfather.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
My motherfucking nephew ain't gonna know his father.
Yeah, I feel you, Slim. You know, I guess in the first one, you know, I was a little, I ain't used to this journalism shit. You know what I'm saying? So I may have gave an impression when I said what really went down. You know, people can take that and take that one statement and cultivate a perspective that I'm gonna talk about something that we was gonna go in depth about Alpo and the streets and all that old
But
wild shit.
I think you did prove your point. What really went down, because what really went down was it was a female involved. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what really went down. It ain't that I was gonna give you some, oh yeah, this and that and that.
Yeah.
Nah, it wasn't about that.
Yeah,
It was
we ain't
about
moving like that.
it was about how that incident affected my lifeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's look at this. you know, Alpo allegedly bought Michelle. You gonna call her the queen on the chess tape. You know, he bought her a home. You know, when people can find out a little more in depth through a book that's out, we really not gonna touch on because we trying to get the title changed, right?
Trying to get the title copyrighted and make sure it's stamped right, you know?
Right.
So nobody gonna take it.
Exactly. But it is a book out now that that goes a little more in depth on what took place during that time, and you know, and the home was used for what? As far as according to your knowledge.
You know what I'm saying? This is a good book. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading the book, and it all making sense because, like I said, we had the house, and I'm reading the book. It's saying that he bought her aunt a house. It supposed to have been for her aunt, and I'm thinking like, dang, I can remember being there that time at her aunt's house. So it was like all clicking up to me. You know what I'm saying? It was all clicking and making sense. And you know what I'm saying? You would think this book written by a fly on the wall. You would swear my father himself written the book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the details that it got in it and the facts that it has in it.
I got you. Okay, now, this is some real exclusive shit that you and I didn't know prior to you receiving the information. That came down through a very reliable source. That Gary confessed to not killing your father.
Yeah.
He even put himself in harm's way by coming around your father's stomping grounds, which was 16th Street, and was out there crying that he didn't kill your father.
Yeah.
So who
Facts.
knew that? Facts. So who knew that?
Who knew that?
Who knew that?
Read the
feel
book
what I'm
and you'll
saying?
find out.
So let's look at that. A dead man can't rebuttal what Alpo is saying. That's the only snap I learned from a whole lot of gangsters. A whole lot of niggas telling them dead men.
Well, yeah.
And create these illusions around men that already been deceased.
Because when it even came to him setting up Gary, he was like,
We gotta make sure that nobody's around.
was with him, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't wanted to fall back on, it'll fall back on us. But since nobody knew he was with us, I know how to deny it quick.
So I said, oh yeah. So my man was like, yo, let's go. I said, no, we got to do this right now. Can't just be running up on Gary in broad daylight. That's going to come back to us. So we got to do this right, and we got to get him when nobody know. So my little man Gary, he had a little beef with somebody, and they just like maybe like a month earlier, they tried to kill him. And so he beats me one night and said, yo, kid, one of the kids' name was Jawbreaker out of D.C., the kid named Jawbreaker. He said, yo, I know where Jawbreaker them at. This is Gary talking to us on the phone. Like, yo, I know where the kid Jawbreaker them at. They had such and such, such and such. I said, oh, yeah. So I'm talking to him on the phone. I said, who you with? He said, yo, I'm by myself. I said, you got something? He said, yeah, I got 2 pistols with me now. I said, all right. I was with my man Wayne and like 2 other dudes that were under my man Wayne. So that was our perfect opportunity. My man Wayne was like, yo,
Produced
this is
by
it. Make it
Contrast
happen.
Productions.
So we jump in this kid MPV van, because we used to like using MPV van because they had the little side compartments. We could throw the pistols in there if the police pull us over.
Okay.
Real quick. So we jump in the MPV van. So I'm driving because since I was like the best driver. So we go meet the kid Gary because this is a perfect opportunity. Don't nobody know he's with us now. And when he come up missing, we can always be like, man, I knew how to deny it quick.
Okay.
So we go get him. Boom. So we go get him. He gets into the MPV van. He parks his car or whatever. He parks his truck. He had the truck at the time. He parks his truck. I met him on, Florida Avenue. I go meet him on Florida Avenue by a Wendy's, I think it was.
Okay.
We get a little revolver out of the stash, and I give it to the dudes that's sitting in back of my man Gary. So my man Gary, he's in the middle, but he don't know that we done slipped the revolver to the back to the kid who's gonna hit him in the head. We ran for about 5-10 minutes after we get the gas. Bang! My man hit him. I give the signal through the rearview mirror. My man hit him with the revolver, 2 in the head. All you hear is, ugh, once he hit him, because the kid Gary was getting kind of sleepy, because we was about to be like, yo, we ain't gonna catch these dudes. So, Gary was getting kind of sleepy, so he's like dozed off for a minute. So he never even seen it or felt it coming. So the kid hit him with the revolver, bow, bow. You know, so the bullets don't go nowhere because in the revolver they don't pop out.
Okay.
So he hit him in the head twice. Down. Gary, he winds up shitting on himself.
Okay.
From his muscles relaxing.
Okay.
So, you know, he's stinking up the car and all that. So that's how the thing came about, that his dick was chopped off. So we had to find some woods. So I had to find somewhere to dump him at. So we wind up taking him in this park over on 16th Street in Northwest.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Potomac Park. I think it's called Potomac Park or something. So we wind up taking him over there. And I said, yo, man, we gonna leave him in the woods. So I said, yo. So we pull over in this real dark. I said, yo, take off his clothes, man, for they won't spot him through the clothes and all that. Take off his clothes and leave him naked in the woods. So we do that, and we dragging him through the woods naked. So he gets a couple of scratches on his body and his face and on his penis because, you know, we taking him through the woods. We dragging him.
Okay.
So that's how it came about that they thought we chopped off his dick and all that. And I thought where we left him at was real cool, but we wound up leaving him next to some type of telephone box or something. And the next day, just so happened that the telephone people was coming out to fix this box. And that's how they found him the next day.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody with that type of mind state, you can't really trust what they say or how it went down.
Facts. So, ladies and gentlemen, some more information just surfaced. You know, so what really happened? We all going off of what's being said, trying to piece this thing together. You know, and it ain't about revisiting the past, it's about using your motherfucking head. Because at the end of the day, Slim, we responsible for the brain that God give us to use, bruh.
And the note, my father ain't smoke or drink. For him to say he went in the back and that whole incident,
slipping like
you know what I'm saying? That's not somebody that don't smoke or drink. That's somebody that's always on the A game. So that story he telling the suspect, you know what I'm saying? That whole
right.
So
And you know what's so crazy, Slim? That when you look at this street shit, 90% of what's going on, dog, we caused that shit. Niggas in the streets caused. Because we're big up the young dude that robbed somebody. Yeah, man, you putting in work. We're big up the young dude that's go smoke somebody. You know what I'm saying? We advocating the same stupid shit that when they hit our doorstep, now we want to cry about it. So we bought this shit on ourselves by doing what? Saluting the dumbest shit, the most animalistic instinct that means moving on emotion, man, moving on feelings without thinking through that shit.
But that's like, I'm sure a lot of people had that perspective. The streets raised me. You know what I'm saying? Because if the streets raised you, that means you ain't had no father figure around. That means the streets ain't had no father figure around. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really expect some guidance that'll help you get there. You only can expect negativity because that's all they know.
But see, you know what though, Slim? Let's look at the table. Let's look at the game. Now, it's a fact that homies killing homies. Right or wrong. Every neighborhood you go to, it ain't the enemy. You ain't gotta worry about the enemy. You know what he about. It's the nigga next to you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And these are the telltale signs that go right over the average Joe head. But they rather be accepted and looked at as, I'm that nigga. I'm that dude. And the whole time, man, a scared nigga blow your brains out. A nigga that's envious of you will blow your brains out. Jealousy.
What I think it is, it's an identity crisis. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what they want to be. They don't know who they want to be. But in reality, all you got to do is be yourself. And that's real. And that's real. Be yourself at all times.
And you know, man,
Be comfortable in your own skin.
you about to have a son. You got a son. And I tell my son all the time, test who you around. You know, if you in the car with your man and his mother called and he lied to his mother, yeah, I'm such and such, such, who the fuck are you? That don't make you think. Right then and there, nigga like me, I ain't fucking with you. Nigga, because if you lie to your mother, if you lie to a motherfucker that feeds you, clothes you, had your ass, who the fuck am I?
Exactly.
You dig? And see, these are the signs that this channel, we gonna start after this last episode, we're gonna go into street talk, street solutions, man. Because these young dudes don't think past their motherfucking nose. You know what I'm saying? And if we got a game to give to them in reference to figuring out who they around. Primary example, I used to drop $5 home around a group of niggas just to sit there. Who will tell me I dropped it or who will help me look for it. I invest $5 and then I pocket for the money. But I drop $5 just to see who fuck with me and who don't. See, that's how you throw it around out there just to see who's gonna bite. You know what I mean? But if you just aimlessly think that's my man, based on why that's your man. You know, and
we grew up together.
We grew up together. We based it on bullshit. You know what I mean? So, you know, as men, man.
Y'all just grew up in the same fucking environment. You know what I'm saying? You ain't know that nigga for real. Or
ain't no strong roots to that shit. You feel what I'm saying? And it's sad that, you know, a lot of young guys, man, lose their head out here wanting to be accepted. I was the only boy, and I thank God, bro.
And it seemed like it's worse now because the social media out here, it's like everybody putting everything on Front Street. It's like I don't care if you showing guns, drugs, whatever. What you really showing, you saying love me. Somebody love
Accept
me.
You
hear me? That's what it's saying.
Yes, man.
Showing all that money, somebody love me. Look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can dig it. All right, let's go to the movie. You know, there's a movie coming out called Fully Paid, which is a DC version of Paid in Full. You know, what can people look forward to? You know, I know you got your role in the joint. You know, I may have my little feature in the joint, but what can people look forward to? God willing, man.
A good movie. A real movie. Telling our story. DC ain't never had no story that we told. So, you know what I'm saying? This big for the city.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, man, make sure y'all definitely stay tuned. The hashtag Fully Paid. You know, and we trying to definitely grow the channel, ladies and gentlemen. You know, so donations are welcome. You know, we not asking, but if you can help out, help us get better equipment, better mics, being able to go out here, reach some of these youngins. You know, we are into feeding the homeless, you know, so once a month we gonna film going out, hitting the bricks in some of the roughest neighborhoods in DC, and definitely helping people, man, because we got to be the change we want to see. I'm tired of hearing all this old sideways, glorifying the streets, and glorifying dudes that, you know, walking down a dead end street but have the perspective that they're going somewhere. So, you know, help us, help this channel grow. You know, we gonna do what we do. We definitely gonna document us going to the stores and, you know, buying the food, setting up the food, and getting on the front line for what we stand for. You know, going to these schools, picking out highlighted students or problem students, talking to them, trying to get them on the right path, y'all. So definitely look forward to that. Alright, in 1990-91, DC was the murder capital. A lot of lives was lost, you know, and unfortunately, your father died in what year?
91, August 2nd, 91.
He died August 2nd, 91. And, you know, being so young and losing your father, what effects has that had on you growing up fatherless, which is a major issue in society today. We have a lot of young girls who grew up without their father, that cling to men as father figures who don't give a damn about them. And we have men growing up without fathers that cling to streets and neighborhoods and other men who really don't give a damn about them, who see the vulnerability in them, you know, and taking advantage of it.
For me personally, I say growing up without them, only, you know what I'm saying, I feel affected because I'm like, dang, I would have the love that got to know, you know what I'm saying, somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as like feeling like I felt abandoned or left or unwanted, I haven't felt that because my family source, you know what I'm saying, strong. I got uncles that looked out for me and still look out for me to this day.
That's right, Slim.
You know what I'm saying? So
And
thank Allah for that.
Ain't no question, mashallah. And you know what?
And aunties, can't forget my aunties.
Yeah, shout them out, baby. Shout them out. You know, I wish I could shout out all the guys on the channel, man, that left intelligent comments, man, because I love seeing dudes that think, man.
through the love and the hate though, I accept it all. You know what I'm saying? Cause
Yeah.
you acknowledging my story. If you love it or hate it, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's them. They entitled to that.
You know what I'm saying? I can't
You
be
know,
mad
they're
at that.
individual. They can hate it, love it, or neglect it, ignore it. I don't give a damn. But at the end of the day, if this story can help somebody, man, I'm cool. You dig what I'm saying? But think about this. Why is the dude Ghost in Power so popular? The character.
Why is he so popular?
He's a thinking man. He think his way through problems. That shit is charisma. That shit is attractive. The nigga, I can't learn from a nigga that soon somebody make him mad, he gonna pull out a gun and shoot him. What the fuck can I learn from that?
Nothing.
That's the closest thing to being an animal.
That's like saying I lost. I lose.
Yeah, ain't no
I quit.
question. I quit. I give up. You know, but sitting in a cell right now thinking of a million ways he could have done it different. You know, and that's where I want to confront the game with, man. You know, if we can get a foothold
That's
and
why I
get
know,
these.
like, I feel it in me, like, all this, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna be something. I'm gonna do something.
Yeah.
It's destined. Like,
Yeah.
no question.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
Cause going through all this and still have a positive outcome, like, I ain't worried about nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no question, bro. Because, you know, let's tell you like this, man. You know, I look at Adam, who was created by God's hand. You know, and from the first man, bro. You know what I mean? From the first man that was created, you know, he had to walk and trust in the knowledge that God bestowed upon him. Who he had to look up to. God wasn't there holding his hand. God created him and gave him a mate. You know, and he had to figure things out. He had to go through his trials and errors. So who are we to think that we ain't gonna go through this shit?
Exactly. That's it.
You know, and it amazes me on how, you know, we get so sidetracked in life, man, and make some of the smallest things mean so much to us. There was a guy a few years ago that stabbed and killed his family member over a chicken wing, man. Over a chicken wing at a cookout, the last piece of chicken. You know, so we look at what I used to read this military book. It says high intelligence, high emotion, low intelligence. And it's the man that stays calm through the storm that always get through it.
But believe it or not, this my, I was put on earth. All men, they love females. You know what I'm saying? They, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't
They
no
love them.
question.
They love them so much. You know why they love them? Because Allah made them,
Ain't no question.
and He made them from us. So females, they love materialistic stuff. Like that's just anything man made. They love it. They love it because we made it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same mind state but different views. So when you say like, why somebody do something or why somebody want this attention, that's the reason why. And even for the people that's gay or you know what I'm saying, they even love females. You know what I'm saying? They love them so much they want to be one. You know what I'm saying? So that's for every man. Every man.
And you know, before money it was the woman.
Mm-hmm.
So a man will blow your brains out if he wants your girl. You know what I'm saying? It's like some of the most, and I just believe as men, Slim, we gotta take our role back, man. This is just my opinion, you know. I may get backlash from this, but as men, I feel like the real dudes outnumbered so much that we don't even get acknowledged no more.
It's easy because I ain't gonna say the government or it's just made by design. This is how they designed it. This is how they
Ain't no
designed it.
question.
Look, all right, you and your girl together. We gonna give your girl the high paying job. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna be making peanuts. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be working hard as all, but you still gonna be making. While she chilling making this way more than you. So mentally, you know what I'm saying? As a man,
she's bringing more to the table.
Exactly. So it's reversing your house role. It's reversing your house role. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. It's a deep situation that we won't touch on. You know, for the viewers, I ain't about the dumb hoopla. You know what I'm saying? I'm about solutions, progress, man. Cause I got a son, I got to leave here. I'm not gonna be here forever.
And the thing is, we just gotta look at each other like family. Like, I don't care if you don't know them personally, but you gotta realize and think, had a mindset, that's your family.
Yeah.
And you gotta think deeper than that, cause this person out here homeless, he asking for something. You don't know him, you ain't gotta give him nothing, but that's your family. When you think about it, so if you give him something, he, even if he do go do with it, whatever he do, but you know your heart was right. So that's the only thing we as people gotta get back to. We gotta get back to loving each other and looking out for each
We
other.
up against an animal, man. That TV and social media, bruh. And
So we use that then. We use that since that's the adversary, or you know what I'm saying. That's the op. You use them then. You know what I'm saying. You make them work for you to show your vision.
yeah, I can dig it, bro. I like that, bruh. Ladies and gentlemen, we down to the last question. We was just dialoguing. I hope y'all still following along. But your father just had a birthday, right?
Your ass will get it.
Yeah. What's up, YouTube? I just want to pay homage to a mastermind money-making motherfucker named Andre Tank Johnson. Today, December 24th, 2017, and I'm over here live at the Trinidad Mount Olive Cemetery, right across the street from where Tank used to get his hustle on and where he was raised and born at, in the Trinidad neighborhood. So I want y'all to remember, when the movie come out called Fully Paid, remember, this is where my man is buried at. Come over here and show some love sometime. This was an urban legend right here. Andre Tank Johnson. I love you, champ. Peace and love, baby.
If you could say anything to that man if he was sitting right in your face right now, what would it be?
I say just keep looking after me like you've been doing, like you and all I've been doing. Just keep looking after me, making sure I stay on the right path. Just keep my head up like the Tupac song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause at the end of the day, we all gotta go up there. I don't care if you was the most saintest person, you ain't do no dirt, you ain't never do nothing, you still gotta die. You still gotta lay down, you know what I'm saying? So that's a destination we all gotta make. So feeling sad or depressed, there's no need for that, cause I'm gonna see him again.
Alright, now, you know, Real Live do not end the segment without dropping some game. I would never end no segment without you giving back to the youngins that's coming up with no father. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, or the sisters, you know. But we talking about these men, man. These young boys that's gonna grow into either grown man or grown little boys. Two avenues they can go. What would you say to the guys that don't have the fathers in their homes, and you know what helped you get through this and still have both of your feet still solid to the ground and you being able to take care of your business?
I'm saying males in my family seeing what they've gone through or what they went through and made it out, and, you know what I'm saying, standing tall. So that's inspiration in itself, and even if somebody not your family member, it's somebody that you probably is inspired by. You know what I'm saying? Inspiration ain't you trying to be like them. You know what I'm saying? You inspire, they inspire you to be great or do great things. So you want to find something for you, not what somebody else think it should be. Whoever is that for you, you want to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, stay with them and try to have them monitor and tutor you so you could be successful. Cause there ain't nothing wrong for asking for help. You know what I'm saying? We all need help, and that's a problem that a lot of people have, especially somebody without asking somebody for help or assistance. You know what I'm saying? Cause they don't want to seem weak but you're not. You just everybody need help.
Ain't no question. Ain't no question.
Or a support team. That's what you really need, a support team.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this to say that, man. I'm gonna say this to that. Pride is the only poison you can swallow that can't kill. And with that, peace, love, and head grease. Salute to the next episode. See y'all later.